Hey everybody, Alex here with Momentum Charting. Welcome to today's video. And just quickly before we get into this, we're going to be talking a little bit about Apple today. Going to be doing something a little bit different, a little bit fun, something I thought you guys might enjoy. Make sure you go down below and subscribe to the channel, guys, so you don't miss any updates I do over the coming days, coming weeks on broad markets, on Apple stock. Really interesting, really fun takes on the market. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy my channel, enjoy my takes on the market once you start watching. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. I hope that everybody is having a fantastic day, a fantastic morning, whatever you're doing or wherever you're at. And like I said, guys, today I just wanted to take a break from doing the video on the SPY that I've been doing. I know that's a lot of people getting a lot of fear and uncertainty and all that stuff going in broad markets right now. People are getting really panicked, really worried. But guys, I just want to reiterate something that I've said really from the beginning of this channel since I started making videos. It's that I am a 100% long-term bull in this market. Okay, I don't believe for a second any of the massive amount of fear and everything about the collapsing markets that you see on YouTube all the time. I mean, it's just unending. I mean, it just literally, you just go from one video to another talking about economic collapse of the United States, how we're about to enter a 10 to 15 to 20 year bear market, which is going to collapse the indices. It's going to collapse all stocks. Guys, I just want to quickly say, go back and you can see from the very beginning of my channel, I've never, ever one time had a video saying like that. In fact, the last video I did on Apple was about a month and a half ago now. I think it was something to the effect of Apple, extreme bullishness, the case for extreme bullishness on Apple, and it was a long-term picture of Apple. And I do want to kind of do something similar here. I don't want to make this video nearly as long as the other one. I just want to bring you another picture, another look, kind of another detailed look at what I'm seeing on longer picture, long-term horizon, on yes, the chart of Apple specifically, but a lot of here what I'm going to say, guys, I believe also applies to broad indices, which being the Dow, the Dow Jones, the Qs, and obviously the S&P 500, as well as special case stocks, of which I believe Apple is definitely one. Guys, I mean, the business model of Apple is just so freaking incredible. I mean, you look at their revenue, their balance sheet, they've got so much, they've got enough cash to buy out. Now, again, I know the whole capitalism thing, I don't want to get into it, but whatever the case may be, Apple is where they're at through, a lot of smart management. Some people disagree with their ethics and their tactics. Some of them definitely, I agree 100%. In the past, yes, a little bit questionable, but here we are, and we've got this giant company called Apple, right? They've got, for their iPhones, which is just like an absolute necessity and must for almost everyone in the world right now, and growing at a massive rate, right? So for even in the poorer countries on the world that are starting to get their GDP up and people are starting to make more money, China, India, areas like this, everybody wants, almost everybody has at this point a smartphone, and Apple just happens to have one of the most loyal demographics of smartphone users. They will not, people who are fans of Apple products will not, for any other reason, no matter what, they will not buy another, they won't even consider an Android phone or a Google Pixel or a Samsung or whatever the case is, although they have an extremely loyal user base. Now, that's definitely one big segment that's growing over time. Yeah, of course it's growing slower than it used to be, but it's still a huge revenue source for Apple. And then you look at their other segments that they have. They've got things like the iPad, they've got things like the Mac, and then they've got their whole services segment, right, which is just growing right now at an exponential clip. We're talking like the smart home services, the App Store, right? The App Store, all those amazing apps in the App Store, and also something that's I think is going to keep growing at an enormous clip over the next decade, which is like Apple Music, right? The subscription services. So guys, I mean, you just look at a stock like Apple, and it just kind of, to me, embodies the strength of the American stock market as a whole. And guys, again, looking forward, just to me, absolute bullshit on the long-term thing of markets collapsing. I don't want to hear anything about that. I am a long-term bull in the stock market, period, and I am especially a long-term bull in very special case stocks like Apple, even more so than things like Facebook. Yeah, it's a good company. It gets a lot of ad revenue, but government intervention possibly, and maybe, you know, if they overstep their bounds on privacy, things like that, people might start possibly moving to other platforms and things like Google, where possibly, yeah, government intervention and some other things. I think as far as that part goes, Apple has a clean slate as far as all of the FANG stocks go, right? As far as diversity of their revenue and loyal fans, everything. I think Apple is bar none one of the best long-term bets in the market. And so with that spiel out of the way, guys, I just want to quickly look at this stock, the chart of Apple here, and kind of show you basically what I'm seeing on a very long-term basis. Now, I'm here on a chart that I rarely ever, I think I brought it out maybe 2 other times in past videos, but it's what I call my tricks, T-R-I-X video. I got 2 different trick settings I use here, and I bring this out mostly for long-term charts. I don't like to use it too often on a short-term trading basis, even though sometimes it can fit in interesting when you go down to lower-term time frames. But right here, I am on a daily chart, okay? And I just wanted to show you guys this chart of Apple and potentially, you know, where this thing is possibly headed to by the year 2032. Now, obviously, nothing, guys, of what I am about to say here is investment advice, nor do I have a crystal ball. As you all know, I'm just a long-term bull in markets. I'm a long-term bull in, again, special case stocks. I think Apple is definitely one of those in the market. And again, once again, quickly, I believe that a lot of what I'm saying here does apply as well to long-term indices, especially, you know, the NASDAQ, the S&P. So with that out of the way, guys, let's just quickly take a look at this. I thought you might find this very interesting. So let me open up this chart here. This is kind of like creates a little bit of a, I don't know if you would call it a MACD, but I kind of have special settings in here that almost make it like that. But what ends up happening here on a long-term time frame, it ends up creating like a sine wave kind of effect, and they're rarely ever quite this clean, right? But it's kind of the same as my momentum indicator. When they're trending above the 0 line, the stock tends to go up, and when they pull back, you know, there's a correction usually in the stock, and then it'll eventually start going up again, right? So that's usually the way that this thing works. But in the case of this stock of Apple, so let me go back here to the year. So 2004, and I've already implemented this, and I can tell you exactly what the result was. So here at the low, when we just started turning up in this tricks, right here, from the period of 2004, okay, until this trick started pushing up here from the level almost right around, you guys can see the 0 level right here, right around the 0 level. So operating in a strong area of tricks momentum here, started pushing to the upside, and this trend lasted all the way to 2000 and topping in 2015 here approximately, okay? So guys, that period of time was just about 10 years, and here was the top in price here, approximately in 2015, right around $33, okay? And I've already done the math on this, and I can tell you from the bottom of the chart in 2004 until the top, when this TRIX topped and the price topped here in 2015. Apple went up from about 95 cents, okay, that's obviously pre-split pricing, to about $32.50, which is an increase of just a little bit over 3,000%, okay, in that 10-year period. Now, let me show you this, which I think you're going to find very, very interesting, okay? So here was the top here, again, in 2015, right here in 2015. Now, take a look at this, guys. So what happened here from the top here in 2015 until almost present day, when we just seem to bottom here? So this entire period of time here, from 2015 to, you know, maybe here, something like the middle of 2021, so maybe a few months ago, something like that. So this entire period of time here on this TRIX chart on a daily time frame was a period of down momentum, down, it should have been down price action, right? A period of downward movement, a period of correction. Yeah, and you guys can see that here also on my OTT, which is kind of a partner in crime for this TRIX indicator. All this period of time here from 2015 till current has basically been a period of downward sideways correction. But guys, so look what has happened here in this time period. So prices in Apple through this entire period of downward / correction movement did not go down. What happened instead in prices in Apple during this 5-year period of correction? Almost 6-year period, I guess, right? So we started here at around $32, and instead of being below $32 on this period of correction, we are in fact right here at the bottom, right about $132. So that was during the down phase / corrective phase of Apple. Let's just get an interesting, get our ruler tool out and see what that is. So guys, over the period of 6 years on a downward / sideways / corrective phase of Apple, Apple prices didn't correct. Apple prices increased 350% over that period of time, okay? Now, look what's happening right now, okay? We've got this OTT, which is no longer doing this corrective downward push. We are starting to push to the upside here. And on our TRIX, we are just now starting a brand new phase to the upside here, okay? So guys, I mean, I'm not sure exactly, again, no crystal ball. This is just an interesting type of information I love presenting to you guys. Love prospecting for the potential long-term markets, long-term charts like Apple. But so if prices of Apple increased almost 400% in the period of 5 years in a downtrending corrective phase of Apple, what do you think is going to happen over the next, say, 5 to 10 years as we start pushing up in this TRIX right here from very, very high levels? Remember, the last phase of Apple started at around the 0 line and pushed up here to around 11. Here, we're starting already up in these elevated areas. And, you know, who knows where this could possibly take us to in the future. But let's just say I don't know if it's being conservative or greedy, but just let's for fun say just this the period of what's about to happen in Apple is equally, and I think it's really, I think again, I don't know if it's conservative to say that, but I think it's very realistic to say that the period of growth in Apple is going to be, especially in the price of the stock, is going to be as big as it was from 2004 to 2014. I think there's certainly the chance for that to happen. Again, some of the segments are growing at unbelievable pace. Yeah, the iPhone segment isn't as much as it was in 2004, but again, the landscape as far as the services part and the Apple Music, the apps, all that stuff is growing at an exponential clip, much higher rate than it was back then. So I think it's possibly reasonable to assume that, say, this next trend in Apple is going to be as strong as the one from 2004 to 2014. Let's just play that out. And we'll just go and say, so from these levels here, we'll just say by the year 2031, 2032, that Apple has a good opportunity to, again, based on what I'm seeing here on our chart of our tricks, where the levels are starting from, what's happened historically on this, the extreme overall strength, everybody knows, huge institutional play. We'll just say, by the year 2031, 2032, Apple has a relatively good shot at being at a 3,000%, a 30 bagger from where we're at now. Let's just, for fun, take our ruler tool out and see what that would mean. Again, some of you may agree with this, some of you may disagree, but it's kind of a fun little exercise to play out just to, I love this kind of stuff. So let's just take it from the, just our lows of the tricks in around April, let's say, where we were at about $126. And let's just go up. And the actual growth, I will tell you, I did this on the other trend again from 2004 to 2015 was around 3,350%. We'll just do right around 3,000% on this, and I'll show you guys where that takes us on Apple, okay? So here we are, 2,700%, 2,900 right here, 2,000, 3,000 right there. 3,000% in Apple takes us to Apple right around here, right around $4,000 in the year 2030. Yeah, 2031, right? So, are you a believer in that? I am. I think it's going to happen. I think there's a strong chance for it. Again, not an investment advice, but I believe there is a very, very realistic chance for all of this FUD and all of this fear and all of this nonsense that we see in the markets every day just to play out. No 20-year bear market, no a collapse of America, none of that stuff. American stock market continues on its hyper growth period for the next 10, 15, 20 years. I certainly think that's a possibility. And again, judging by some of the charts I'm looking at, this tricks chart, obviously Apple's not kind of the only stock I've done this exercise on. Similar look to things like the NASDAQ and the broader indices, and again, some special case stocks, not everything, but Apple definitely being one of those. I just thought you guys would find this interesting and entertaining. So, possibility of a $4,000 per share Apple by the year 2031. Yeah, is that far-fetched? No, I really don't think it is, with some of the hyper growth in some of the segments of Apple's revenue generation right now. And I just think, guys, what we're in, again, this video kind of fun, kind of just to take away some of the the stress and all the FUD that's been entering in the markets for the last week and change. Markets are down, blah 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 blah. Chinese real estate market collapsing, the Fed's going nuts, inflation's going crazy, all that stuff, all the panic, all the stuff designed to keep you out of the stock market, right, as a long-term holder in stocks. But guys, this is just to remind you that yes, we're in a period of slight bearishness now, pullbacks. But guys, we do not want to be the seller of tops in market. We want to be the buyer of bottoms in markets. We don't, so historically here, Apple's been pulling back at a even here, the crash of 2018, a little over 30%. The COVID crash here, just a blip on the radar, 31%. Then right in here, we've had some pullbacks, I think around 20%, 24% there, 20% there. Where are we at already on this current pullback from the top? Let's see, right here, just a little bit over 10%, right? So again, I'm a buyer of these stocks on pullbacks. I'm not a seller at tops, guys. I'm just not a seller at tops. Here, basically what I think I'm waiting for here on Apple on daily time frame is just a simple cross back above this trend line here from the top, right here, somewhere around here, and then entering in for more long-term positions on Apple. But interestingly enough, guys, I was taking a look at some of the options chains today, and I went out as long as I could on Apple, and I found this very interesting. But for the year 2024, January 2024, there are call options available on Apple for price of $260. So that only represents obviously an increase of what, 50% from here. So if you're a believer, if I'm a believer that Apple has the potential to reach $4,000 by the year 2030, do I think by 2024 it can eclipse $260? Guys, you're damn right I do. Prices for those 2024 calls in Apple right now are just under $4, $400 obviously, $4 per share, 100 shares, $400. So interesting. If you're a believer in Apple, check those options out. January 17th, 2024 options, something like that. $400 call options at $260. Do you believe Apple's going to be over $260 in the next 3 years and change? I sure as heck do, and I'm a believer. By the year 2030, we are going to see some extremely incredible prices in Apple, stuff that nobody could believe if you told them that today. I'm a believer. Are you? So that's basically the entirety of today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Take a little bit of stress out of this really volatile, really nasty market we've seen, over the last week and change. I'm sure that all this stuff is going to come to an end soon, guys, and we're going to be back on the road to recovery, back on the road to higher prices, broad indices, and Apple as well. So, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Looking forward to seeing you guys all in the next SPY update, which I probably will have by end of day tomorrow. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you for being here. Hope you have a fantastic day. See everybody again shortly. Bye for now.